This is me holding a tarantula for the first time ever. Not only is this tarantula special because it's my first pet tarantula, but it's special because I caught this one myself while out in the deserts in Arizona. Here I'm going to show you guys the process that went behind catching this tarantula and all that had to be done in order to get her out of her burrow. This species of tarantula is known as an Arizona blonde tarantula. They're native to the deserts of California, Arizona, and New Mexico, and they make burrows in the ground which can easily be distinguished by their large circular shape and the webbing that covers it. Now, as most of you probably already know, I am no tarantula expert. My field of expertise is obviously ants, but I was out in the desert with a bunch of my friends who know a lot more about other invertebrates, such as tarantulas, centipedes, and scorpions. So they helped me identify this hole that belonged to this tarantula, and together we were determined to try to get it out and capture it so I could have it as my first pet. Many tarantulas that burrow into their ground will actually come out during heavy rainstorms, so in order to imitate this, we started pouring water into its hole to try to lure it out. Now this proved to be ineffective at first. It came out, but not all the way for us to be able to grab it, and we didn't want to risk damaging it, so we started trying to nudge it out with this stick. Now it's very important to note that flooding the hole does not harm the tarantula in any way. We weren't drowning it, we were simply trying to get it to come out, but it started refusing. The second method we tried was trying to bait it out by touching the end of its hole so it could feel the vibrations, thinking that we were some sort of prey animal. It wasn't falling for this trick, I think, because we had already poured the water down its hole and it knew something was up. As you can see, it was hiding just a couple of inches below the surface of the soil, but not enough for us to be able to scoop it out. We kept trying though, and it kept refusing, so we decided to go with plan C. We decided to grab a whole bottle of water and pour it down, hoping that the water level would rise and it would force the tarantula to have to come out. As you can see, at this point it was pretty deep down, but it quickly started coming back up. However, it was still refusing to come all the way to the surface. You can see that the tarantula is actually hydrophobic. The water doesn't stick to its skin. Instead, the perfect little droplets stay stuck between the hairs on its leg, which I find extremely fascinating. We kept pouring water down the hole, and slowly but surely, it was coming up. At this point, we were almost out of water, so I had to rush back into the house to get more, but as we poured a couple of more drops, it kept inching closer and closer to the surface. Since we didn't want to risk harming the tarantula, my friend decided to nudge the tarantula with the back of his forceps to try to get it to come out on its own. Here it was coming out, and there it finally was completely out. It was absolutely huge, which you would have not have guessed just from the size of the hole. Now here it is in my hand. You can see it takes up almost the entire surface area of my palm, and the way they walk is super fascinating. Now, even though all tarantulas are venomous, this tarantula's venom is very light, and you can see its two fangs underneath it. If it were to bite, the most of the pain would come from the bite itself and not from the venom, so there isn't too much to worry about when handling it. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to subscribe, because next episode we're going to build it a home and give it its first ever meal under our care, which is going to be amazing.